Hello everybody, I'm going to show you how to do a dedicated offset in your front left corner. So just kind of follow along and we'll put this thing together. So what I'm going to do is we're going to take a light cut across the left edge and across the front edge. I should say down the left edge and across the front edge. So I'm going to shoot over to the machine, and then I actually have a spoil board on mine. Hopefully you guys have one as well. Excuse me. So what we're going to do is I lowered my spindle, as you can see, down just to the bottom of my spoil board, and it's on the left hand side. So you should be able to get off the edge of your material without hitting your stops, as I did. I didn't hit any stops, so if you can do that, go ahead, and we're going to manually turn on the spindle. So the way you do that is you just come down in your control, type in M03S12000, okay, and then you're going to hit the enter key. When I hit the enter key, you'll see the spindle come on. Alright, so now we're just going to jog to the front of the machine. So in your jog rate, you can go ahead and put like 15 in the feed rate. Alright, and then we're just going to jog out towards the front of the machine. And then once you get towards the front, you only want to leave just a little bit. Alright, so when you come across in your X, you're just taking off the edge of the material, so it creates a nice square 90-degree corner in relationship to your spindle. And come across. Alright, so now that we did that, we're going to go ahead and raise up the Z. And we'll get this out of the way. Actually, go ahead and increase your jog rate so you can move it a little faster. And then what we're going to do is just put a couple pieces on this. Alright, we'll come down here, shut off the spindle, so we're going to hit M05, hit enter, shuts off that spindle. And then I'm gonna go ahead and vacuum this up a little bit, and I'm gonna take two pieces of, I just happen to have some cherry hardwood. Take 2 pieces and we're going to glue them on the side and glue it on the front. Now you just want to use a very small bead along the bottom edge so it doesn't squish out onto you. It's not necessary to have a whole lot, just a small bead running along the bottom edge, and we'll glue both of these pieces on. Okay, so now that we glued on them pieces of cherry onto where we actually milled the left edge and the front edge, so we have a nice square corner. Alright, we can go ahead and zero that corner now in our X and Y axis. So again, I used CA glue. If you don't have any, you can order it on Amazon, or you can use carpenter's glue and just clamp it and, you know, for a little while, and then touch off your X and your Y. So we'll just put something on here for right now. This plywood. Alright, I already have my X's right there touching, so what I'm going to do is come back over here to the control, and I'm actually going to zero the X right now. When I move it, I can just put it back, and I'll show you how to actually get to the center of the spindle, because obviously the machine runs from the center of the spindle. Everything is calculated that way. So I'm going to go ahead and jog Y out to the front and lower my jog rate down to 10. And we'll go back over to the machine and jog this out. Okay. Now I want to come over a little bit in the X. And we're going to do the same thing. Just going to go in until we touch that material. Just touching it. Okay. So come back over to your controller and now zero your Y. Don't zero your X again, because we already did that. Alright. Then we're going to go ahead and raise up Z. So it's not touching the material. And then down here, we're going to go in our control, and we're going to program in G0, X0, Y0. Alright, and then we're going to hit the enter button. Now, that tool is right off the edge on the front and the left. So it's a 1/4 inch bit in there. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to come back to the controller, and over here in your step size for your X and your Y, you're going to put in 0.125. Okay, that's 1/8. That's half of the quarter. Our material is still sitting there, and our Z is above the material. So we can go ahead and one click on the X and one click on the Y positive. Okay, we'll go back. You can see if I drop this Z back down a little bit, hopefully you can see it, that the center of the tool is now center on the left edge and it's center on the front edge. Okay, so now we can come back over here to the controller, and we can hit Y0 and X0. Alright, so now the center of that spindle is right dead on that corner, front left corner. So at that point you're going to ask, okay, well, how is this going to help me in the future? Well, I'm going to show you, because now usually on any program that you get done running, it always goes back to the home corner, usually 150 thousandths above the material. Okay, now keep in mind, if you're using different thickness materials, you're going to have to always touch off your Z, but your X and your Y should always be there. Now when you shut down your controller and you turn it back on, and you close the program and turn it back on, you're going to have weird numbers, and I'm going to go through that right now just so we can clarify this. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just shut down this. So now when you power back up, as you can see, your coordinates X and Y have numbers in them, and we never moved the machine, so technically the machine is still at 0 in both the X and Y coordinates. Alright, so just go ahead and 0 out X and 0 out Y again, because we're still over at 0. And your Z you should always touch off, because materials have variations in thickness, and you don't want to, assume that, oh, I'm still 150 thousandths above, because that's what it was when I ended the program. Just touch off to be safe. Alright, so now that we established a good work offset, you can pretty much put your part in there every time, and you're still going to be at X0, Y0, provided you didn't move your machine when you shut it down or turned it back on. Just re-zero your X and re-zero your Y. Again, always touch off your Z, because materials vary, so it's better to be safe than sorry. I hope this helped everybody. I hope you guys liked the video. Any questions, please leave me a comment. If you'd like, you can email me. And if anybody is interested in possibly doing some manual programming, shoot me an email, leave me a comment. Please subscribe, please like the video. Thank you, and have a good day.